Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Kane Ashby's new alliance. Speaking of Kane, he'll make a new alliance during Monday's show. At this point, Kane could use all the friends he can take. So who does he align with? Could Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, hop on the hashtag Team Kane train? It does seem as though she may, so only time will tell. Kane Ashby is stepping back into the Genoa City spotlight in a way no one saw coming, and The Young and the Restless is setting the stage for one of its most unpredictable story arcs in years. After spending so much time in the shadows, rebuilding his life and avoiding the drama that once swallowed him whole, Kane returns in 2025 with a bold move that immediately shifts the balance of power across multiple storylines. What begins as a simple business maneuver morphs into a sweeping, high-stakes alliance that rewrites relationships, reignites old tensions, and introduces new fractures in the families that dominate Genoa City. The big question now is clear. Who exactly is Kane teamed up with, and why now? For months, whispers around Chancellor Winters hinted that Kane was restless. Rumors of Devin and Lily carefully managing the company while restructuring their personal lives quietly highlighted the one glaring absence: Kane, a former co-CEO whose legacy had grown complicated over the years. But Kane didn't return to reclaim an old seat at the table. Instead, he arrived with something far more dangerous for the power players of Genoa City: a plan. And in typical Kane fashion, he didn't come alone. Reports behind the scenes suggest his new alliance is not a simple partnership, but a strategic pairing with someone equally underestimated, someone with just as much to gain, and possibly even more to prove. The twist? Kane's new ally isn't connected to the Chancellor Winters' orbit in the way many expected. Instead, his partnership links him directly to the brewing Newman versus Abbott corporate tensions, a feud that has been quietly intensifying over the past year. Kane's sharp instincts led him to recognize a gap between the families, a fracture ripe for exploitation. That is where his return becomes not just interesting, but explosive. Early leaks indicate that Kane may be aligning himself with someone who's been on the outside looking in, someone eager to rewrite their own story while shaking up the established hierarchy. And while Y&R has not officially revealed the identity of Kane's new partner, all clues point toward an alliance designed to outmaneuver not just one, but several major players in town. Lily, for one, senses something off. Her history with Kane makes her the first person to pick up on the subtle changes. The confidence, the secrecy, the sudden precision in the way Kane moves through town. She knows his patterns better than anyone, and she recognizes that this version Kane is not drifting back into the messy personal drama of old. Instead, he's calculating, strategic, and quietly determined. Lily's growing suspicion adds emotional tension to the storyline, especially as she becomes concerned about how this new alliance may affect the reputations and stability of both Chancellor Winters and her personal life. Devin, always protective and always brilliant when it comes to reading a threat, begins gathering intel of his own. He remembers what Kane is capable of when cornered or motivated. And Devin is no fool. No one steps back into Genoa City with this much confidence unless they have leverage. His attempt to uncover Kane's new angle puts him on a collision course with other power brokers, including Victor Newman, who has been monitoring corporate movements with renewed interest as Newman Enterprises expands aggressively. The moment Victor catches wind that Kane is involved in something larger, he begins connecting dots in a way only Victor can. That's when the story takes a darker and more dangerous turn. Kane's alliance may be connected to a powerful new investor quietly buying up stakes in smaller companies around the city. This investor is rumored to have ties not only to former corporate rivals, but also to individuals who have long harbored grudges against both the Newmans and Abbotts. If Kane is the operational face of the strategy, then his return marks the beginning of a larger chess match, one designed to challenge the status quo and expose long-buried secrets. And Kane, having spent years rebuilding and reevaluating, now understands power in a way he never did before. He isn't looking for revenge, and he isn't looking to reclaim old glory. Kane is aiming for something entirely different, a new legacy built on independence, strategy, and strength. But this newfound determination places him directly on a collision course with some of the strongest forces in Genoa City. The Abbotts are already stretched thin with family crises, complicated romances, and shifting corporate loyalties. The Newmans are in the middle of a restructuring that has left several members vulnerable to outside manipulation. Even the Chancellor Winter's dynamic is unstable, as new divisions form and old wounds resurface. Kane knows this, and he is moving with precise timing to AS for his mysterious new partner. Clues suggest someone who has been overlooked, someone who understands that aligning with Kane means gaining a strategist and negotiator, and someone willing to operate in the gray areas of business ethics if necessary. This person wants influence, protection, and the chance to rewrite their own story in a town where power is currency. Together, they make an alliance that is not merely convenient, but transformational. And they're already making moves, subtle ones, calculated ones, the kind that appear insignificant until suddenly the entire board shifts. By the time the key players realize what Kane is doing, it may already be too late. The whispers are growing louder. Kane Ashby is done being underestimated. His return is not an accident, and his alliance is not a side plot. It is the beginning of a new power structure in Genoa City, one that promises shakeups, broken deals, exposed secrets, and rivalries that burn hotter than ever.